Hello, friends, family, followers, and guests. Thank you for stopping by. I thought I would address a few things in the news today, and surprisingly, I can make it quick. Bloomberg has funded the paying of 32,000 felons so they can vote. I don't know what that means in New York. Apparently, that's part of the process, but here's the punchline. What he's done, and I'm looking at some notes I have here, is he has said and made a statement, a leader, that for felons it's okay to avoid their responsibility to pay their debts to society, the reconstruction of their lives, a bunch of things that are built into the restitution process, money for victims, so on and so forth. They don't have to cough that up. They don't have to be responsible. What he's done, and what he thinks he's done, is he's bought 32,000 votes for the Democratic Party. So much for Bloomberg. We've had an interesting situation right here in my backyard. One of the best places to go to get a down-home meal is Nathan's in Greenleaf, Idaho. So we go there often. It's not very far away. And Greenleaf, just past a city. My apologies for the interruption. I was talking about Greenleaf and the recent ordinance in the form of advice that was passed, like just recently, and that is that every homeowner should own a gun and know how to use it. So I thought that was pretty good. Mitt Romney makes the news again in that he's going to support the vote for the new Supreme Court justice, whoever it might be. By support the vote, he made no commitment to how he's going to vote. He is a snake in the grass. I seriously doubt that his personal lack of integrity has put him in a position where he can get past the swamp and vote for the Constitution. Vote for the party in power in the Senate, which is supposed to be his party. So we'll see how that comes down. In the news, 63 Bed Bath & Beyonds are closing. It's a real interesting experience I had just before Christmas this last year, so it's been a few months ago. Linda and I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. We took our little carts with us, and we rode around, and it was difficult to negotiate because some of their aisles are kind of small, but that's a whole nother story. We saw so many really neat things that would be enhancements to our lifestyle, fun things to make life better. I was curious. I started looking at where they're from because they're required by law to post who made them. Vietnam, Cambodia, China. The list goes on and on and on. I did not find one item that was made in the USA. And so now we have 63 of those places closing. That's too bad for me because of the convenience of some of the wonderful items. On the plus side, that opens up a place in the market for American goods. So I'm really curious and looking forward to see how that works out. The Hunter Biden report came out from the study that was done there. No rocket science, nothing new. The real core of the thing is the Dems, of course, attack it because they want to protect the swamp. the swamp goes along with it, and they did not come out with real hard and clear statements, even though it was Republican-led. So here's the punchline in that whole thing. We don't need that investigation. We never did. Joe Biden told us that he screwed with their government and he blackmailed them for the benefit of his son so they would drop the investigation into his son. The people who should have been doing the investigation back where everybody could put their hands on the information in the Ukraine. Not last, but next, I want to talk a little bit about the nuclear option back when Neil Gorsuch was up for his appointment as a Supreme Court Justice. The Dems had already opened the floodgate with the creation of what they called the nuclear option, which was a simple majority vote. And the Republicans exercised it, and they were able to get Neil Gorsuch passed. Then Brett Kavanaugh. This Saturday, Trump makes a new potential appointment to the Supreme Court, and it's going to be run through the process, and it'll probably be run through the process before the election. So we'll have another conservative judge. The Dems are flapping their arms and screaming, "We'll pack the court, we'll pack the court." Like the nuclear options. It's taken a while for the Republicans to wake up, but they're finally waking up. What happens if, for example, Trump wins, the Senate stays in the hands of the R's, and the House flips and becomes R? And they decide to pack the court. If the Dems can do it, the R's can do it. It's only a question of power. That's all it is. And in the past, I think that's been tried a couple times unsuccessfully, back in the 1950s, I think it was, is the latest one. But the bottom line is, what goes around comes around. From the inception of this country to today, we have been at war with two differing philosophies that have been at war for a long, long time, a lot longer than this nation. The Republic was set up in such a way as to be able to avoid, as long as reasonably possible, a civil war. Even so, we had one. And the question is, are we on the path to having another one? It really doesn't matter whether the Dems are the ones who exercise what becomes the unreasonable hand of governmental oppression, or the R's, it's left hand, right hand, liberals, the Republicans. But anyway, the R's engage in that same abuse of power. Because we are at a philosophical crossroads, and always have been, if either side abuses that too much, it will come back to haunt them. And it'll haunt them in that it'll put this nation at risk as a nation with a new civil war that will not be bloodless. That's the object of the Constitution, was to provide a vehicle to change the controlling powers from one to the other. And when that balance is eliminated, when government no longer acts as its own check and balance, and one party can totally control and run roughshod over the other party, we will see the manifestation of a shooting civil war. I close on a couple of more positive notes for me personally. You're going to see a picture of my mantle over my fireplace. And right now everything's a mess, but I'm getting to a point where I can show it off. I'm getting ready to sand it and do some of the things that I need to do. And I'm really looking for that. And then I have an amazing person, typical airhead that you would find on Fox or CNN, ABC, MSN, a woman of a lot of local renown. Her name is Darla. And I have been working with Darla, and there's a possibility that I can get her to come on and give us a political segment. And that would be fun. I've told her she has to cross her legs. She can't fart. A bunch of things. I've had a lot of fun with the idea of maybe putting her on my YouTube channel. Anyway, so we'll see if we can get Darla to do that. I'm going to close with the picture of my mantle, and it's my hope that this next 6 weeks or so goes smoothly for everyone. I will not be doing Santa this year, except for perhaps some phone calls, or if you want to send a letter to Santa, I can take a picture of the letter that's sent to me and put it in a letter for a return, and tell whoever it is, maybe make a video letter in response, ho, 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 and tell them that Santa is going to help them. If you have your kids or grandkids send me letters, you make sure you put a parent or grandparent's comment in there so that Santa can be sure that he says the right things, because Santa knows who's been naughty and nice. Ho, ho, ho. And with that, an address. And it'll pop up on the screen here too. But it's 24744 Ustick, Ustick Road, Wilder, Idaho. And the zip code is 83676. So that's the address that the letters need to be marked to. And for the heading, you put Santa-North Pole. So it'll be Santa-North Pole with that address. And I will receive it if I don't get too many of them, because in the past I've always generated a response. If I don't get too many of them, then they'll get a personal direct response aimed at them with the information that the parents or grandparents send me. Santa, North Pole, I hope that the election is successful, in that we get through it and there's no delays, and our nation can continue in the business of being a nation. All of you, have a great one.